शतनूर्यतिहीनं च दीनं मिथ्यामोहाभिलाषै भ्रमति मम मनो धूर्जटे ध्यानशून्यम् क्षन्तव्यो मे पराध शिव 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 भो श्रीमहादेव शम्भो।
Hari Om. Good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of praying together and seek blessings from the Almighty. With utmost faith, devotion, and surrender in our hearts, every word we say over here has to be said from the heart more than the mind and your mouth. Asato ma sadgamaya tameso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amrutam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, together we offer our humble most salutations to seek your grace, your love, your mercy, your compassion, your benevolence, your strength, your forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with your divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutva in a much more enhanced manner. This is only and only to understand thy true self as a living experience, as aparoksha anubhuti. And this can happen purely by your grace and grace alone. We all beseech once again in you to grant us this rarest of the rare opportunity to seek thyself and become one with thyself. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. By the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 483 on the 11th of August 2026. We are on our Atma Bodha session 2. Swasti Shri Parabhava Nama Samvatsara Grishma Ritu Ashadha Masa Krishna Paksha Chaturdashyatito Punarvasu Nakshatra Siddhinama Yoge Bhadrakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, together we solemnly reaffirm our oath, our goal, our sole purpose in life by following one principle, Naham Karta Hari Karta. The very foundation of the spiritual path is to know that there is no you. As a jiva, as a person, it is that Atman, God and God alone, who is existing everywhere, in everything, and all the time. So my purpose is to dissolve myself and become one with the Supreme Reality. We seek the Guru Parampara's blessings once again. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. So shall we start with the cyclic sighing, the pranayam? Let's raise our mind to the next level. Actually, it's not raising, it's coming down in terms of making our mind more calm, more peaceful, more receptive. And especially you are now opening your subconscious mind, which is really fit for this understanding. The conscious mind is not fit for Atma Jnana. Subconscious mind is fit for Atma Jnana. So we are being in the conscious mind, you will not be able to attain much, because the brain itself is not tuned to understand this much. And now let's start this. As you all know now, what is this cyclical breathing? You have to inhale as much as you can. Each person can be doing at different levels. Inhale as much as you can, and then after you feel that you have inhaled completely, then take another breath. Like you do it this way. One more, a quick short breath, and then you don't have to hold. Then immediately as you sigh, that way you breathe out through your mouth. Now the duration, 6 cyclic breathing should be in 1 minute. The lower it is, the more beneficial it is. So you can try. Go at your own speed. There is nowhere you have to put force, pressure and try to come down in terms of numbers 6. No. Meaning 3 seconds inhale and 10 seconds exhale. Easily you will be able to finish in 4 in 1 minute. So that way we are doing continuously for 3 minutes. I'll put my timer on and accordingly we start. So breathe in. After you finished, you feel that you have done, take another short breath and sigh. Breathe out through your mouth. Okay. The exhale should be as long as you can. Watch your mind automatically getting relaxed. Okay, good. So now we are set to go. In fact, there is one more method of eye gazing. Now, as we do Trataka, this kind, or even looking at a lamp in front of you, that is for concentration. Now, nasikagram, which is looking at the tip of your nose. There is a particular technique for this. And I was trying to understand what is this technique. And it was quite mind-boggling. When you do this particular nasikagram, when you focus on the tip of your nose, you get a headache. That means you're doing it right. And you have to continue doing it. And what does that do? That opens the third eye, Agnya Chakra, what they call. And what is in your visual, meaning the eyes which you can see, the human eye, now those excepting for the retina, the same muscles are there in the where the third eye is placed. And doing this kind of a focused gazing, you are able to activate that eye. And now that is the eye of wisdom. So I'll teach you all after we get some hang on the cyclic sighing. So that's also another technique we'll take. See, now we need whatever possible. We need to see that we achieve our goal. That's the only purpose. Okay? Yeah. So now we go to verse 1 where we had seen last. Now, what does this verse 1 say? Tapobi kshina papanam shantanam vitaraginam mumukshunam apekshoyam Atma Bodho vidhiyate. Bhagavan Shankaracharya clearly says, I am composing this Atma Bodha. On what? On the self-knowledge, meaning Atma Jnana, for those who have purified themselves by tapobihi, austerities, tapobi, by austerities they have purified themselves, and who are peaceful in heart, shantanam, tapobihi kshina papanam, they have purified, meaning all their papas are reduced by these austerities, and shantanam, where they are peaceful at heart, and vitaraginam, who are free from cravings, and mokshunam, who are desirous of liberation. So now, what do we understand over here? If you see, he is primarily telling us, for such people, I have composed this. Vidhiyate. Only for such people I have composed this. Meaning, if you do not have this, this text is of no use to you. Indirectly he is saying. And if you want to follow, I want Atma Jnana, then better have these qualities. See, in the entire journey, what we should understand is, Atma Bodha is a text now, which normally Prakarana Grantha, this is done in the beginning of the course. It's normally done that way. But that doesn't mean to say that if we are doing it now, at an advanced stage, after having completed 6 years of continuous study, does it mean that it doesn't have any value? It has tremendous value. How? Now we are continuously and diligently and with acute focus, now we are following the spiritual path. It is like you are going on a very important journey. Before that, when everything is packed, everything is ready, you are once again checking whether each and everything in the checklist is there or not. So that is what we have to, you keep it in mind. Everything which is told over here, to what level I have achieved. Somewhere you might have kept something in, say, which are 3 in number. And you may realize, no, 3 is not adequate. I need to have at least 5, whatever you have kept. So there you correct it. And whatever other changes you want to see, which you will not be able to do after you start your journey. So while we are doing this journey, we are once again rechecking on every aspect. So let that be your mindset over here. Apart from that, you're rebrushing your knowledge. And as we know, Shravana Mangalam, whatever is listening, all the spiritual talks is Mangalam, auspiciousness for you, does good for you. So you need to keep listening, because that's a continuous process in the course of study. So that way, here in the last class we had completed 3. Now the last one, Mumukshunam, what was left. Come, let's understand the Mumukshunam. Okay. Mumukshunam meaning wanting nothing less than this freedom. See, we all aspire for so many things in life, good things, of course. You want better thing. You have a house, you want a better house. You have a car, you want a better car. You have a job, you want a better job. You have an outfit, you want a better outfit. You have some jewelry, you will say, I want better jewelry. So what is life about? Always asking for something better. Now, here comes a sadhak who says, I have seen everything what I can get in this life. Is there anything higher than what I see over here? And then he understands, oh, if I am able to get that supreme reality, that is something which is very, very rare. And there is nothing which one can have above that. So then I said, I might as well go for that. Why am I stuck in this worldly objects which keep changing, and I buy something and suddenly there is a new model which comes in. It changes. Or there could be some issue with that. So this person, he has found that the objects of the world are not going to satisfy me, rather than they are going to put me on a rigmarole for wanting more, wanting something better. So this way, that is known as a hedonic trap. So that hedonic trap I don't want to get into. And he decides, I will focus on the ultimate. Which even as Lord Yama says, the Devatas also don't understand. He's telling Nachiketa, what is you? Why are you as a human asking me this? Even if I tell the Devatas, they will not understand what is Atman and what remains after death. So, when we are on this journey, what level of commitment, what level of earnestness we should have. You're not asking for anything small. You are asking for the highest, not in this world, but in the entire universe. Know your goal first. This is what you are asking. And so naturally, along with something great, there is a price also you need to pay for it. So the sankalp what we need to make. Sayata kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati. Means as a person's desire, based on a value. Now I have created a value. This is the highest. Okay. So becomes his resolve or his sankalp. Resolve means sankalp. I make a resolve. This is what I want. And yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute. Once I make a resolve, once I take a sankalp, I will drive all my action into it. I will not see that my action is diluted. I will not use time for anything else. Yat karma kurute tad abhinashpadyate. Meaning, by that action, one reaches that desired result. So this is the way we have to make that resolve. So I want moksha, I want Paramatma, and nothing other than that supreme reality. So Atma Bodha is not something where you just casually read some entertaining poetry for some aesthetic, sattvic enjoyment, what we call. No, it becomes a mirror for one who is ready to see the face of the self. Now you want to see the self, you want to see the Atman, you want to confront Paramatman, then you have to be ready to see that face. So now Nachiketa in the Kathopanishad, he was a boy of 8-9 years. He stands in front of Yamaraja with tremendous amount of vairagya and mumukshutva. Here, as we say, vitaraginam. He has given up all his desires. So that means that is one of the qualifications. How many desires are still haunting you? Think about that. If they are haunting you, then you have not crossed the third step. Nothing should haunt you. You should be free of all cravings, all desires. So with that powerful vairagya and mumukshutva, I want to understand the self. Now when he goes to Yama and Yama offers him sovereignty, magnificent chariots, and then he offers him the celestial pleasures, like he says, all the Urvashi, Rambha, all these celestial apsaras who are there, you take them. How much of wealth do you want? You ask for that. How much of health you want, age you want, youthful years, you ask for that. Nachiketa, on the face of Yama. Imagine a child of 8 years and that gigantic Yamaraj sitting in front of him. He tells Yamaraj, keep all of them for yourself. I don't need your chariots, I don't need your apsaras, I don't need your money, I don't need supremacy, sovereignty, no. And he makes another staggering point at Yama. He says, oh Yama, you know, even you have an end. You also will come to an end one day. You are there as Yama for a certain period of time. Of course, it is much longer than a human. But even you will come to an end. I don't want your kind of a situation. I want to seek something which is beyond death. What is born has to die. I want to understand that which is not born at all. I want to become that. And how can I become that when I am born? You have to detach yourself from this body, mind, this jiva bhava. So this is that kind of mumukshutva what one has to cultivate. See, everything, all these are, we have to gain inspiration. Now look at this Dhruva story, another example. What was the situation? Dhruva has got two mothers. One biological mother, Suniti, and a stepmother, Suruchi. Now his father, Uttanapada. In fact, Uttanapada is the direct son of Manu, who is the son of Parabrahma. Sorry, Brahma, not Parabrahma, Brahma. So now, one day, he sees his brother was sitting on the lap of Uttanapada, that is his father, and the father is sitting on the throne. Now, you know children, we all have done this and we have seen this also. When a child is sitting on the father's lap or the mother's lap, the other child also wants to come and sit, and then there is a fight over there. So he tries to go and sit on the father's lap, and the boy who was sitting, meaning his brother who was sitting already on the lap, he pushes him. And his stepmother Suruchi, she comes over there and she says, you have got no right to sit on your father's lap. This fellow, poor fellow, crying, he goes to his mother, Suruchi, and he says, Mother, what is this? What is my fate? Am I not a son to my father? Why is he saying I cannot sit on his lap? He says, Suruchi is a very mild, sober woman. She says, my dear son, only Narayana can grant you this desire of yours. Acha, Narayana. Okay. So without batting an eyelid, Dhruva left the palace and straight goes to the forest. Forest meaning what? Now you cross the kingdom, you enter the forest. And what to do he doesn't know. A boy of again 7-8 years old. There for his rescue comes Narada Muni. He didn't know anything. So Narada Muni says, okay, you want to meet Narayana to take his permission for whatever desire you have, then I'll tell you a mantra. You have to do it religiously. See, now a child who was playing in the palace, he comes out and he's here determined to gain that supreme. Narada Muni gives him the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now Dhruva resolves, he gradually gives up his food. He lives on those dry leaves which are there. And then he stops eating, instead of food it was dry leaves. He stops eating those dry leaves and he starts living on water for some days. And then after some days he gives up water and he's just living on his prana. And all the time he's doing japa. Now this force of japa, tapas, it shook the celestial regions. And Narayana decided, now I need to go and see Dhruva. He comes in front of him. Now when Narayana comes in front of him, Dhruva no longer had that wish that I want to go and sit on my father's lap. He had no wish. He says, I want nothing. I just want you, my Lord. See, that purification has happened. So this process, what we talk of is tapobihi, by austerities, kshina papanam, for those who have purified themselves, shantam, they become peaceful. Means what? Peaceful for what? They don't want anything. That is true peace. They don't want anything. And then mumukshunam, that kicks in. When that peace comes in, where there is no more longing for any material, worldly material desire, the mumukshutvam, which is strongly pulling the soul to become one with the divine, it says, I want only you. And he was eventually given the exalted status of Dhruva, the pole star. What happens in the case of Prahlada, where he has exemplified that Shantanam, that Shanti, in him the tremendous peace. However cruelly his father treated him, he remained peaceful without any unshaking disturbance, unshaking firmness, static, unadulterated devotion, all only Narayana, all the time saying Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. See? So, this mumukshunam, although you have done the first three properly, mumukshunam is what one has to practice. See, know what you are asking. Like you want to buy a luxury car, let's say you want to buy a Lamborghini. You say, I've got 10 lakhs with me, maybe max I can adjust 12 lakhs. How will you get? How will you get a Merc or how will you get a BMW with that kind of money? There is a price you need to pay. So these are, do the process and stand there with the money. Whatever you want, you will get. In the same way, stand there with that mumukshutva. I am here. After having crossed that vairagya, I am standing here with my checkbook, loaded bank account. Tell me how much I should write. So that way. Now there is another difference here. A story with a difference. This is a story of Bharata. Now, see, most of the kings in the past, after a particular stage in life, they used to renounce their entire kingdom. Entire kingdom means what? They used to renounce their wives. And of course, if the wives were ready to come, they would of course take them. Renounce wives, renounce their children, renounce their grandchildren, renounce their luxury, property, power, fame, name, pleasures, everything they used to renounce and straight go to the forest. Vanaprastha. Now, he did that, Bharata. And look at his fate. This is a kind of a warning why we are discussing this story. One day he was performing his tapas. He is now serious. Performing tapas, vairagya is already achieved because he has given up everything and come. With that austerities, he is increasing the power of his mumukshutva or the desire for the Lord. He sees a pregnant deer which is being chased by a lion. So, although the deer is pregnant, it's running for its life, and the lion is also chasing. There was a small streak and it had to cross the water. And while doing that, it gave birth and died. And in the meantime, Bharata intervened and the lion went away. Now he saw that fawn which is just born and he takes it. It so happens that Bharata's, the great king Bharata, he developed so much attachment for that fawn. Imagine babies, even let it be a dog or a pig or whatever animal, babies are too cute. And a fawn, you can understand how cute it must be. And his affection was a kind of a binding attachment towards that baby fawn, and slowly his contemplation, it shifted from the Atman towards the fawn. Okay, to what extent? He is now raising the fawn, all the time taking care of it. Sadhana went for a toss. All his austerities, what we were talking, tapo bihi, kshina papanam and all that, it went for a toss. Now, one day, he is on his deathbed. And what is he thinking? Sorry. What is he thinking now? I think I may not live for long. Who is going to take care of this poor fawn, this deer of mine? And with that in his mind, he dies. What happens? Next life, he is born as a deer. And at any time, some attachment which can push us away from self-enquiry. We have to be careful. So we must always keep watching ourselves. And to me, what I can say is, I'll tell you my example. These are all the stories which we have heard in mythology, but I would not shirk back to tell you, as a grihastha, what I am able to do, so that probably it can give you some relevant notes to live in your life. Now, I had heard about one Upanishadic statement. Putrasyapi cha patnyam drishtva saptaha vaset grahe ashtamehni vanam yati sarva sangam vivarjitaha. Meaning, after seeing the wife of one's son, Meaning after seeing your basically your daughter-in-law, one should not stay at home for more than 7 days. Meaning on the 8th day, one should leave for the forest, vanaprastha, renouncing all attachments. Otherwise what? You will get caught. How? 7 days. And maybe 7 days becomes 15 days, then 21 days, then 1 month is over, and then you get the news that your daughter-in-law is pregnant. You're gone. You cannot go now. And then delivery happens, you see the child, and you get completely merged. Means what is it that I'm trying to say? One should get detached from all this? No. You should not push yourself that I want to be after the child, because it is like that. When I first saw my granddaughter, I was shocked. I knew Maya by study. What is Maya? We know by study. Maya, ya sa Maya. That which is not there is Maya. It appears to be there, but it is not there. So it is, I think, the same day I was there when it was born. When she was born, the moment I saw her, what a pull you get. I understood. Oh, this is Maya. Now this is pulling me. And the resolve was that I am not going to get involved in this. Which means what? Now I feel many a times, I want to play with your grandchild. You want to spend time with your grandchild. But I restrain myself. I'll get lost. And okay, when they come, you shower all your love. You are not going to restrict them. See, we are not going to a forest. We are not going to somewhere else, leaving everybody else. No. You are not going to keep bumping into them, or you are not going to invite. But when somebody comes, treat them with all the love. Have that love. But your focus should be mumukshuna. Otherwise, you will be shaken. So it could be children and grandchildren, your possessions, your money, your power, all these name and fame, all these attract you. Kamini, Kirti, Kanchana. These are continuously, they attract you. So be careful. So know that no person, no object, nothing will accompany you. Much of our burden comes from that ignorant thought. This must happen through me. You will get that feeling. How if I don't do this, then how this will happen? That's ignorance. Prakriti takes care of what has to happen, through whom it has to happen, when it has to happen. All that it will take care. So surrender completely. And say to the Lord, you are leading this jiva. Every breath is coming from you. Through that breath, the body is moving. The thoughts arise in my mind and action occurs. And see for yourself, is it not a fact? So living from this knowledge is that true detachment. So what I'm saying, as a grihastha, these are some resolutions which I have made because I have found a purpose. And to achieve that purpose, if you are going to behave in an ordinary way, then the results also will be ordinary. You have to do something more because you are asking is something higher. So think of a camera, okay? Now if you want to take some pictures. If the lens is dirty, what happens? The picture obviously will be unclear or distorted. And so this you can term it under impurity. So if the same camera while you are shooting, if it shakes, then the image blurs. That is an agitated mind. Now if that mind it turns away from the target, what you want to shoot, which is now your aim is that Atman, the subject, the drashta. That means if it is moving away from there, looking at something else, that means your attachment towards the world is still there. And now imagine if the photographer lacks a seriousness in his shoot. He is not bothered. He has gone to shoot, in a wild shoot, let's say. His focus has to be on the jungle, not in talking to somebody or looking at his phone. So if this kind of a seriousness, lack of seriousness is there, that is absence of mumukshutva. So all these four conditions must be right for a clear and vivid picture. Now if you have taken up a task, do it seriously. Otherwise you say, okay, doesn't matter. Then it is up to you. But unless and until you give your 100%, not 99, you give your 100%, there is no chance for you to succeed. So ask yourself, am I living with tapas and discipline? First question. Is my mind peaceful? Next question. And then, do I fulfill relationships and responsibilities as duties, or do I become trapped in attachment? This is what I answered you just now. I fulfill my relationships, but I don't go behind them. If it comes, I do my fullest, but I will not initiate that kind of a move, because it's something you would want it, you would long for it, but you have to put a restraint. And is my longing for Paramatman steadily growing or not? Look at that. Continuously look at that. And if you are able to use these are all like the meters on your dashboard. How much is your engine heated? How much is your fuel in the tank? What are the other meters talking about? All that you see and you say, yes, now I'm good to go. They're all in the right sphere. So if these qualities are present, we are prepared for Atma Bodha. In other words, it is trying to say, you're not prepared to travel now. There are so many things which are not there, which have to be there in your bags, are not there. Better postpone your journey and get all those things and then start again. So if they are not yet sufficiently developed, we must cultivate them to the optimum level. So in this way, this verse 1, it emphasizes this eligibility, and then welcomes the prepared seeker. So now you evaluate yourself and you see where you are. Before we move on to the second verse, what I'll do is, I'll just tell you the 7 bhumikas or the 7 levels of a sadhak to reach that state of self-realization. This is another way of looking at our progress path. Now once a disciple asked Swami Vivekananda, he was teaching several Upanishads and Prakarana Granthas. He was teaching. So somebody said, Swamiji, you have not taught us this particular Upanishad and that particular Prakarana Grantha. Swami Vivekananda told him straight on his face. He says, I have taught you whatever is required for gaining moksha. That's self-realization. Whatever you need, I have taught you that much. There is no way that you can study everything because you all are grahasthas. So that way, we are also following the same principle. Whatever is required, a direct approach, as I said, as the crow flies, shortest distance, whatever is required, we are following that. So here, this comes from the Yoga Vashishta. They say there are 7 levels. Now let's understand what those levels are and let's see where we are. This is again, you're comparing and saying, oh, are we good to go? Are we in the right place? So the first one is Subhecha. Second is Vicharana. Third is Tanumanasa. Fourth is Sattvapatti. Fifth is Asam Shakti. Sixth is Padartha Bhavana. Seventh is Turyaka. Now, the most important point here is level 1, 2, 3 and 4 are enough for self-realization. Understand this. Up to 4 if you have done, you will get self-realization. Then what are these 5, 6 and 7? Now let's understand that. Subhecha. Now I'm asking, I'm gaining sadhana chatushtaya, sampatti. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Adi Shat Sampatti, and the fourth one is Mumukshutvam. In Shama Adi Shat Sampatti 6 and these 3 9. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Okay. We have studied this in the past, so we will not go into that. So, Subhecha, you got a good thought. Shubha Ichha Shubhecha. I got a very good thought. Now, so far my life was different. Now I have come on to the spiritual path. Okay, I've come on to the spiritual path. And here I have started practicing. How? Vicharana. Having got a Shubha Ichha, now I am doing Vicharana. What is Vicharana? I am listening. First thing is you listen. And after listening, what do? You try to understand. Shravanam and Mananam. So, now we all have been doing this. We have done extensively. 6 years of listening is no joke. And that is abundant grace of the Lord, where He has given us this power to listen. Otherwise, you tell somebody to listen to all such things for about half an hour, I don't think they'll be able to sustain. You need His Krupa. Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsan Advaita Vasana. Only by Ishvara Anugraha you will get a Vasana, meaning a liking towards Advaita. Very clear. Okay, so I started listening and I started doing my Manana. Third one is Tanumanasa. Tanumanasa is Nididhyasanam. Whatever I have listened to, I am meditating on it. I am meditating. Oh, yes. All those thoughts which I have crystallized in me without any doubts, now I am allowing them to get absorbed in me. And the fourth one comes as the Sattvapatti. Fourth one, after the Nididhyasana, straight you get into the fourth one, where the title comes as Brahmavit. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati, meaning the person knower of Brahman. You are a knower of Brahman now. You have gained that knowledge through Shravana. You have completely reasoned it out without any doubts, Manana, and whatever you have reasoned it out, now you are firm in that knowledge. You have become that knowledge. Nididhyasanam. So, this person becomes a Brahmavit. So, this means while living you become a Jivan Mukta, and then eventually you become a Videha Mukta. So which means after the death of the body, normally what happens in a normal death, the body dies and the mind, the Sthula and the Karana Sharira, they go and take another form. Another Jiva. It could be any Jiva, human, animal, reptile, whatever, fish, whatever it is. Okay. So here in this case, as a Jivan Mukta, when it becomes a Videha Mukta, means along with the body which is burnt over here, the mind, it gets merged with the Hiranyagarbha. So it becomes one with the divine. Now then, what are these 5, 6, 7? Optional. So that's what exactly Swami Vivekananda said. You don't have to go to that level, 5, 6, 7. What do? Now, 5, 6, 7 is, if you see, in that fifth state, Asam Shakti they say, he gets the title as Brahmavit Varaha. There it is Brahmavit. Here he gets that Varaha as the additional title. Now what is his position? He remains in a meditative state for a long time. He is enjoying that bliss. He is happy with that bliss. He has a very limited waking state, excepting for his chores, duties. He is in that waking state. Rest of the time he is in meditation. And how does he get up from that samadhi or meditation? On his own, voluntarily. So he is known as a Brahmavit Varaha, fifth position. Now if you can do that, well and good. But you have already got what this person is getting. You have already become a Jivan Mukta. Now if you want, you have the time and you enjoy meditating, you've got the right atmosphere to meditate, keep meditating. Go to the next stage, Brahmavit Varaha, but the result is the same. Meaning you both are traveling in the same flight. There is no business class and there is no economy class, all in the same class. Okay, next. Padartha Bhavana, sixth one. He gets a title. There it is Brahmavit Varaha. Here he gets Brahmavit Variyan. What he does? He remains in the meditative state, and there is waking state goes to a very small extent, and he needs somebody else to disturb him to get up from his samadhi. This is the difference. There the person, he gets up, even is hungry, he eats, and again he goes into samadhi. In this Variyan, he needs somebody who comes and disturbs him and he says, now you need to have your food. He has his food and again he goes to samadhi. And the last one is Turyaka, Brahmavit Varishta, the Supreme. He remains in the meditative state all the time. And obviously there is no waking state for him. All the time he is in meditation. Even an external entity cannot bring him back into that waking state, meaning cannot wake him up. His connection with the material world is completely broken. So look at this now. 5, 6, 7, is it required? When you have easily got what you want in the fourth stage, then you balance your life, because as I told you, you are a grahastha. You have duties towards your family also. So balance it till you reach that state of the fourth state, Brahmavit. Be focused. What you need to do? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana, Manana we are doing. How much? Whatever needed we are doing. Do the Nididhyasana. That is what you need. That half an hour, 1 hour of continuous meditation now. And that's not a big time. And this meditation, what we are asking is, you can do it throughout the day with eyes open, with body movements, with transactions in the world. Saying what? I am the awareness in which all this is appearing. To do this, you need to what? Sit and close your eyes? No. Now when I am talking, I just know that what is my true state? I am not the person who is talking here. I am that awareness in which this body, jiva, is talking. That's all. Move one level from the mind to the level of the drashta. This is what. So why did we discuss this? So to know that where we are in between Shravana and Nididhyasana. Completing Nididhyasana, you reach the fourth state, you are done, Jivan Mukti. So keep this in mind, and we are not very far. Put that little more effort. So as we, here is the ways, tapo bihi, by austerities, kshina papanam, whatever needs to be purified, purify yourself. Shantanam, become peaceful, meaning know that there are no cravings in your mind, and mumukshunam, see that your earnestness to reach God is driving you crazy. I don't want anything else other than that. That should become your goal. This is not like a worldly assignment. I do it my passion. I do it for the sake of passion, a hobby. No, this cannot be classified under your hobby or as a passion. You have to do it as your main goal in life. Then there are bright chances where the divine itself will shower on you. And what you wanted to achieve in this world, you will achieve that satisfaction, that peace, that contentment, that blissful state. And over and above that, moksha comes as a bonus to you. There is no other way you can achieve contentment, peace, happiness. No. My personal experience, I have tried everything, nothing works. When you get onto this path, you will see everything coming to you. Whatever you wanted, you were searching in the world, but it says this is not there in the world. It is there within you. And how do I get it? Now we'll go to the second shloka and move forward on this journey. Come, second shloka. I'll be breaking the sandhi so that it will be easier to understand. Bodha anyena bodha anya sadhanebhyah hi sakshat mokshaika sadhanam pakasya vannivat jnanam vina moksha na siddhyati. Bodha, knowledge, anya sadhanebhyah, in comparison with other means, he indeed sakshat, direct, moksha sadhanam, the only means for liberation. Pakasya, for cooking, vannivat, just as the fire, jnanam, knowledge, vina, without moksha, liberation, na siddhyati, is not accomplished, which means just as the fire is the direct cause for cooking, knowledge is the direct means of liberation. Compared to all other forms of discipline, knowledge of the self is the direct means of liberation. A straight line approach. You cannot gain liberation without gaining this supreme knowledge. Very clear. You do whatever you want to do. But if you are looking for liberation, then my dear friend, please go in for Atma Jnana, not knowledge of physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. No. For moksha, Atma Jnana is the only way for liberation. Okay. So here, now the first verse told us who is qualified. Now we know we are all qualified. We also know where we stand on our journey. We have come to the third stage where we are at the level of manana, and in between manana and nididhyasana. We have to just cross over nididhyasana, meaning whatever we know and we have understood, we have to make it a self-experience. That's all what we need to do. So here the second verse tells the qualified seeker exactly what leads to that liberation. Now your main goal is mumukshu now. You want to gain liberation. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, he puts his arm on your shoulder and he says, I will show you what can give you liberation. So if a person, wishes to become a pilot, what do they do? First thing they check there is eyesight and his physical fitness and his tactical skills. Once he is qualified with that, then his actual training begins. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya directly speaks to us, says, you have come here seeking moksha. Okay, do not lose this path midway. Fix your mind clearly. What is that alone which can take you to the destination? So many seekers, what they do, they prepare and practice sincerely, but they become absorbed in the means. Now, reading new granthas, new Upanishads, it gives them lot of peace. They put their entire time in studying one after the other text. Now, where is the goal now? You're not doing Nididhyasana, you're doing only Shravana and probably not much Manana also. Says, no, take those core facts and then sit on those core facts. Because what is said about that one truth, it is told in 100 different ways. Take those pointers, sit on it and meditate. And once you start meditating, it becomes your self-knowledge or self-experience. So don't forget on the goal. Then you will be lost completely. So, just like an ordinary person, prayojanam anuddishyana mandopina pravartate, without a purpose, not even a dull-witted person undertakes any job. Then what are you then? You started your entire journey for liberation. And where are you now? You have lost your track. So even look at, there is a cow. If you show some green grass, the cow, whether it knows you or it doesn't know you, it comes towards you. Ishaha trinapanihi madishta sadhanam anubhuta trinavata. Anubhuta trinavata means it gets attracted towards it. This is pravritti. It gets attracted. Trinapanihi means that blade of grass in your hand. So, madishta sadhanam, it is desired by the cow, so it gets attracted. Now that same, now what you do is you are holding a blade, meaning a bunch of grass. Now, cow is coming towards you. Suddenly you put your grass, take the grass behind your back, and with the other hand, show a stick. Ishaha dandapanihi madanishta sadhanam anubhuta dandavata. This is nivrutti. That cow immediately will run away. Nivrutti. So having taken, why did it run away? Because it knows that its stick can hit him, and if he gets hit by the stick, it's going to pain. So when you have seen enough of pain in this world, and when that cow can understand that much, no sooner it sees a stick, it runs away. And it's very casual for a cow to get attracted by green grass. But it also knows that the stick can cause pain. So, nivritti. So, know that this world, how much more beating you want to get in life. What is that you have not done for somebody very dear to you in your life? And how easily they cross over. Understand that you should take it as a blow. You can't just ignore it. Okay, ignore for the sake of moving on in life, but increase your vairagya. Oh my God, this is what I have done for so and so, and this is what they give me in return. That means I understand nothing is permanent over here, and develop that nivritti. From the pravritti moving towards the world, develop that nivritti and increase your vairagya, and at the same time that will give rise for mumukshutva. So this way one has to instigate. And now we are doing sadhanas. Now we are moving to the point where we know knowledge, where now the importance of knowledge is spoken over here. So as we are everybody is not into knowledge, you see. Good people, spiritual people, sattvic people, religious people, what do? They are doing sadhanas. Antaranga sadhana, bahiranga sadhana. So bahiranga sadhana is extensive puja, going to temple after temple, then pilgrimages. That is of course temple, but I am saying temple within your vicinity. pilgrimages are long shot, where you go for extended period of time. Then you do your seva. So this way what you are doing, all bahiranga, vrata, niyama, all these are bahiranga. Now again this sadhak, what is he doing? Is also, so there are some sadhaks who do, along with bahiranga, they do antaranga. Antaranga sadhana is japa, dhyana, and then you have pranayama. So all these are antaranga sadhanas to eventually make you more and more subtle. Now the point is, where is jnana over here? Bahiranga, antaranga, all this is happening, but jnana is not there. Now here Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives you the pakasya vannivat jnanam vina mokshana siddhyate. Now you bought all the food items. Okay, first the food items bought, and has the cooking begun? You got all the provisions. No, cooking has not begun. Provisions have come. Now all these provisions are placed in those vessels. Ask yourself, has cooking begun? No. Now the pot is placed on a stove. In the olden days, yes, there were 3 stones and it was placed on that. Ask yourself, has the cooking begun? No. Now firewood is bought and placed under the pot, within those 3 stones. Now has cooking begun? No. Now when the matchstick is struck and the firewood is lit, now ask yourself, has cooking begun? Yes. It is because fire is the direct means to cause cooking. Till that point, till you strike a matchstick, you may strike a matchstick, but if the wood doesn't catch fire, then cooking has still not begun. You may be just striking one after the other, but the firewood is wet. It's not catching fire. So in the same way, as the firewood catches fire, then you can say, yes, cooking has begun. Now analyze with the same formula, analyze for liberation. Karma yoga has started. Meaning I am doing seva, I am helping various people. So various kinds of seva. Has cooking begun? No. I am doing chitta shuddhi. Now chitta shuddhi is developed. I am cleansing my mind by various antaranga and bahiranga sadhanas. Has cooking begun? No. I am doing upasana or devotional worship. All this I am doing. Has cooking begun? Has liberation come? No. I am doing chitta ekagrata meditation, one-pointedness of the mind. That is now extremely well developed. Has liberation come? No. Sadhana Chatushtaya has started. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shat Sampatti and Mumukshuttam, all this I am gaining now. Has liberation begun? No. Guru Upasadhana, I have approached a guru and started learning. Has liberation come? No, sorry, I have just approached a guru. Has liberation come? No. Shravana and Manana has been done. Has liberation come? Answer is still no. Shravana and Manana also. See, this is the final climax. You might have come up to Manana. You have understood it. But has liberation come? Answer is still no. Then Nididhyasana has started. Has liberation come? Yes. It is coming. It is now coming. Just like you have lit the fire and the food is now, the vessel is getting hot and the contents are getting warm and further hot. So the cooking has started. So the Nididhyasana has started. That is the point where the liberation starts coming. The knowledge, it eventually ripens into realization or samadhi. So that Brahmakara vritti, I am Brahman. You can say, other than that, what can I be? I have got no other chance to be something else, because every cell in my body is something miraculous and marvelous. And what else it is? It is nothing else than God particle. So that I am Brahman, raised in Nididhyasana, it slowly takes one to the point of realization of what? That I am not this body and mind. That's all. So this is the dawn of knowledge of the Atman. So that knowledge has become now crystal clear in that sadhak's mind. Nothing else is intervening. No doubt, I am not this body and mind. Initially when we listen to it, you raise your eyebrows and you say, so what, this person has gone mad or what? If he is not the body and mind, is this some ghost talking over here? But now when after you have done your Nididhyasana, I am not this body and mind, you tell such a person, you says, I know this, please tell me something else. Obviously I am not the body and mind. What are you saying? So this does not mean that the previous steps were a pure waste of time. Please understand this. They were all needed. Just as in the cooking, we need the process, we need the provisions, we need the vessel, we need the firewood, we need the matchbox. And then when you light the dry firewood, and that fire starts cooking. So that fire is Nididhyasana. So in the same way, for liberation, Nididhyasana and forming the Brahmakara Vritti. How do you form a Brahmakara Vritti? When you are completely out of the Jagatkara Vritti. Jagat, we are in this Jagat now. You mix Jagat and you mix Brahmakara. No, it's not allowed. It's not going to work. You have to have 100% Brahmakara, means all about that Brahman and Brahman alone. Anything you see, anything you hear, anything you understand, anything you feel, anything you perceive is nothing but Brahman alone. That should be where your mind should stabilize. So the essential factor in cooking was to have the fire. So too, the essential factor in liberation is to have that self-knowledge about Atma Jnana. So this way, now the sadhak, he has understood. So, as Swami Vivekananda says, many come to an understanding, few realize. See what a miss. They have come up to the stage, the third stage, climax, Shravana Manana. If they just do that next level in a proper manner, Nididhyasana, they become Brahma with meaning. You have known Brahman, which means you have already become Brahman, which means you have already got the Jivan Mukti. But why? Only few realize, because of lack of preparation. So this tapas, puja, japa, seva, pilgrimage, charity, yoga, bhakti, pranayam, upasana, all these are extremely required. They are great in their own place. Karma purifies the mind. Bhakti softens the heart. Upasana makes attention one-pointed. Tapas brings in discipline. But that ignorance, I am this limited individual jiva, can be removed only by the supreme knowledge. I'll show you one slide which is a matrix. You think about it. It's quite informative. Okay. Sorry. So the 3 obstacles, 3 remedies, 3 disciplines. What is the first obstacle? And then what is the remedy for the obstacle? So this is a matrix of 3 which go horizontally and 3 which go vertically. Okay. So for an obstacle, you have a remedy and then the practice. So what is that which I want to become to gain moksha? What is that which is coming in the way? Obstacle is ajnana. I am not aware of myself. I have mistaken this body, mind, personality to be the real I. And how do you beat that? The remedy is jnana. Clear recognition that I am the awareness, not this changing body and mind. Whenever you look at yourself as that I am the awareness in which this body and mind is operating. Just that, add that. I am the awareness in which this body and mind is operating, but I am not this body and mind. Then comes the, how do I get this self-knowledge then? By Jnana Yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Second one, Vikshepa, is, okay, I want to get this Jnana, but that mental distraction is there, restlessness. It pulls attention from what I am wanting to do. So for this, ekagrata, it is known as chitta ekagrata. So this chitta shuddhi is the next one, chitta ekagrata. So one pointed focus. How can I do this? I do this by dhyana and upasana, meditation and devotion. Train your mind through meditation, prayer, and love the Lord beyond extent. We are so good at loving. We can love animals, we can love plants, we can love humans. Aren't we doing this in life? So love God, who is the creator of this entire universe. And there is the third one, obstacle, which comes as the chittamala, impurity of the mind. And for that I need chitta shuddhi, purity of mind, which is the remedy. And that comes by karma yoga, selfless action. So whatever you do, do it as a worship unto the Lord. Accept the results with equanimity and reduce ego. So if you see now, nothing is a waste. Everything needs to be given the right amount of attention. So doing extensive puja, doing extensive bhajan, doing extensive seva, no, move on to the next one. From the karma yoga, come to chitta shuddhi, come to that upasana, come to that ekagrata, and having gained all these skills, come to that jnana yoga, and in culmination, I am Brahman, that limitless awareness. Because now your mind is completely free of any cravings. Your mind is now shantam. It is peaceful. Because you have purified them by your austerities. And in such a state, free of cravings, you are desirous for liberation. And this knowledge, which is going to be given in this text, will take you to that point of liberation. So, this way, Bhagavan Shankaracharya prepares us now. From this, I am this limited individual, that can only be removed by this supreme knowledge. So imagine like there is a completely dark room. You go there now, you want light in that room. So you see, you want to drive away the darkness. You sweep continuously. I am driving away the darkness out of this room. You vacuum clean it. You spray, you rearrange every part of the furniture. Or you stand at the wall and chant mantras, sing bhajans, but none of these actions are going to produce light. So the moment a lamp is lit, there is brightness in the room, there is light in the room. So in the same way, if you want to drive away the lightness, just as you lit a lamp, If you want to drive away the avidya, the ignorance in your mind, you have to bring in jnana and jnana alone. So consider a snake, a rope and a snake example. So in dim light, a poor light, a rope appears as a snake. And the moment you see that, it produces fear. Now, if you're going to take a stick and strike that snake, or you sit there and pray, snake, please go away, that fear is not going to go. That fear will vanish when light falls on that snake, on that so-called snake, and we recognize that that snake is not a snake, but it is a rope. Immediately that knowledge alone corrects that error and removes fear. In the same way, all the fear, the worry, the anxiety we have in our life is because we are seeing this body mind. We are not seeing the Atman. So this body mind is like the snake. We are seeing the snake. But there alone, there is no snake there. There alone is the Atman. Start recognizing the body mind as an Atman and your fear is gone. So that he is doing, but he has got no knowledge of the Atma Vidya. So he is stuck under a trap. You have to come out of it. And the second personality. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye. Okay, what happened? Suddenly, no audio. Let me check. Is there audio now? Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyapataye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Now you can hear? Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantare Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantare Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Yeah. Okay. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Almighty to seek His grace, blessings. Naham karta, hari preranaya, hari prityartam. Shri Krishna arpanamastu. Idam namama. Om Tat Sat.
जिसने मांगा तुझे उसने सब पा लिया, जिसने छोड़ा तुझे उसने जग खो दिया। हे गोविंद हे मुरारी, दुर्योधन आया पहले अहंकार सर पे चढ़ा, जाके सिरहाने वो अभिमानी बनकर खड़ा। फिर आए अर्जुन प्यारे, नैनों में नीर भरे, पाता है। बोले मोहन मुस्कुरा के, सुनी दोनों की पुकार। एक तरफ मेरी सेना, अस्त्र शस्त्रों का भंडार, दूसरी तरफ मैं अकेला, न उठाऊंगा हथियार। बोलो क्या चाहिए तुम्हें, कर लो अपना विचार। दुर्योधन मन में हर्षाया, सेना उसने मंग ली। सोचा निहत्थे कान्हा से, क्या जीतेगी ये मंडली। हंस पड़ा वो मूर अभिमानी, समझा नहीं तेरी बानी। पर पांचों पांडव रो पड़े, अर्जुन ने चरण पकड़ लिए। बोले नाथ न सेना चाहिए, ना राज चाहिए, हमें तो बस रण में आपका साथ चाहिए। हे गोविंद हे मुरारी, तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी। जिसने मांगा तुझे उसने सब पा लिया, जिसने छोड़ा तुझे उसने जग खो दिया। हे गोविंद हे मुरारी, तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी। माधव तुम ही सारथी, तुम ही हो पतवार। पांच नहीं हम एक हैं, जब तुम हो पालनहार। भीम युधिष्ठिर नकुल सहदेव, सबने शीश झुकाया। दुर्योधन ले गया सेना, पांडवों ने ईश्वर पाया। वीर देख जो फूला था, वो अंत समय पछताया। जो गिरधर के संग हो लिया, उसका काल भी क्या कर पाया। हे गोविंद हे मुरारी, तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी। जिसने मांगा तुझे उसने सब पा लिया, जिसने छोड़ा तुझे उसने जग खो दिया। हे गोविंद हे मुरारी, तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी। जीता वो नहीं जिसके पास जमाना था, जीता वो जिसे केवल शान